So, hello everybody. I got an inspiration and I wanted to talk about Scorpio Sun because there was a metaphor that really spoke very beautifully to that. Scorpio represents mystery, right? But it represents fixed water. It represents the depth of water, the darkness, the undiscovered aspects, the unknown. And what really reflects this in nature is the ocean. Not me, the real thing. And this energy, we as human beings have not even scratched the surface. All scientists will admit that there's stuff down there that they have no idea. And we can't get there. And we're not supposed to go there. You know what I mean? It would lessen the poetry of the earth if we were to know all of its secrets. And that is something that I think is very beautiful. And it reminds me of Scorpio because they are the keepers of this sacred space. They know that it exists and they respect it highly. And because of this, they are actually given access to places that no one else is and no one else can understand. And each person that has Scorpio energy will take a piece of this in their own unique individual way. And if it's your sun sign, then you do this through your personality. So people that have Scorpio suns are very unique individuals. They are also very closed off in a lot of different areas of their life. And many people interpret this as a coldness, meanness, aloofness, what have you in our culture. In America, at least, I think maybe in other cultures where social interactions are structured differently, the energy could definitely be read differently. This is Western astrology. So just to put that out there. But moving forward, so all personalities are going to be very unique. You're going to, and it's going to be interpreted, like I said, as this cold. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, and I found it. Discoveries, Scorpio. But that's not really what they're trying to do, because Scorpios are very emotional people. They are actually very loving and caring. It's just because it's the sun sign, it's not always interpreted that way. They're very private people. They have an entire inner personality. And when the sun's trying to push all of it out, Scorpios are very resistant and hesitant. It's not a very easy place for the sun to be, because the energies clash between what the sun is trying to do and what the energy of the constellation Scorpio is affecting our planet and what it metaphorically represents in human culture. But that being said, there are definitely benefits of this. People aren't going to really mess with you too much. They have a reputation of being very aggressive and that they can really hurt you and be very sharp. And that's true. The way that Scorpio projects itself through an ego is very jarring for a lot of people. And what I want people to understand is that this is done for the purposes of transformation. If you think about the fact that Pluto and Scorpio have similar energies, so people connect them very often, it is this destruction, but it's because I'm trying to change things in a better way, kind of a thing. And so it might come off as this person is being kind of nasty or whatever, but it's usually because they are very observant. They're like little investigators and little detectives out there. They are observant and calculating, and then they have this inner experience with whatever it is you're saying or whatever they're interacting with, and their personality goes through this whole process. And when it comes out the other side, it's been through the underworld. So their personality is being plunged through this depth of emotion and darkness and surrealism and questioning and wondering, and then it comes out at you like that, and it stings, right? That's the scorpion tail. And they don't necessarily mean for it to happen like that, but they definitely don't care that it's happening like that. So you can't really convince a Scorpio to like feel guilty about the fact that they do that, because that's just a part of their personality, and they're really not going to give a shit because there's nothing they can do about it anyway, and they definitely respect their own emotional experience and their own personality. Scorpios are someone that really do take their personality very seriously. They may be quite serious people. Not all the time. A lot of Scorpios I know are really hilarious, but in one area of their life, they probably are really strict with themselves. They care so much that it actually looks like they don't care. And that's because they are projecting something into the environment, this really harsh intensity all the time. And if they just let it be like that, they would just destroy the whole fucking world. And a lot of Scorpios are like that, and they have these really crazy, reckless, intense, dark personalities, and they just go out there and they don't care about it. But then there's those Scorpios that they take a lot of responsibility for the power that they know that they possess. And that's a lot of pressure at times, but they tend to be very successful people either way. Really, Scorpio Suns are people that can own businesses, that can make lots of money, that can invent things, that can change the whole world. They have a lot of power behind their ego. So my advice to you, Scorpio Suns, is to embrace who you are. And you will get what you want. The resources will be given to you. Scorpio is very good at accumulating and gathering resources in a shared setting. So also my advice is to make some friends, to make some connections, to make some networking, coworkers, to have some really good like investors or advertisers, business partners, advisors, assistants, whatever. If you can collaborate with a team effort, your personality is really going to shine through because you're really good at managing, a lot like Cancer, but in a very different way. You like to manage people's resources, money, time, properties, investments, all these kinds of things. You can get very technical about stuff, which it's a water sign, so you would think there would be more focus on emotional aspects, but water and emotions, yes, that's a really awesome connection to make, but when you make that pairing too often, you miss all the subtleties of how emotions are like other things and how water is like other things. These things stick to each other like glue, but sometimes you need to separate the molecules to see what each one has to offer individually. And so water can be cold. The waves that just crash and crash and crash and shift and are fucking cold, and glaciers and stuff like that. It's rough, it's lifeless, it's relentless, it's sterile. There are these properties to water. Water is so multidimensional, so multifaceted. It is mostly where we're at. Most of the planet is actually water. And like I said in the beginning, we don't even know the full extent and depth. Most of the scientific research biologically has been done on land, and that's only 30%. So a majority of our bodies, which our bodies and the earth have the same percentage of water in them, and I believe that that's probably true for a lot of different beings, though obviously amphibians and fish and jellyfish, like they would have different consistencies of an earth to water ratio, but we're all made of these two parts of ourselves. And I think that this, if you really ruminate on it, can give you a really good intuitive understanding of Scorpio energy, how that projects out as the sun, or really anything. This can apply to other stuff, but I know a lot of you are looking for your sun sign. If you clicked on this video, if you did, thank you. If you're interested in hiring me for a birth chart, please check out my website, indigohealing.online. Thank you so much.